بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه. So tonight's maxim is briefly called al-fahwa. Sometimes it's referred to as, the closest translation that I could find is similar intent. When you have similar intent regarding a subject, then you can use the maxim for the lesser one that has been introduced for the lesser one. You can use it for the bigger one too. What does that mean? The clear example of that is when the Quran says about your parents, وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. Never say to your parents, uff. Uff is an expression of complaining or discomfort. Uff. Don't we say this? When we don't like something, uff, uff, we say this. Off minnak. The Lebanese, they say off minnak. Off from you. Off. So this is the least expression of discomfort. God says don't say this. So what do we understand from this expression? When we apply the same intent maxim, al-fahwa. Al-fahwa, it means I understand the reason why he's telling me this. I got it. So I can apply it elsewhere, especially when the situation is even worse. So in this case, chapter 17, Surah Al-Isra, وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. Neither say off to them nor repel them. Nahr means when you repel, harshly repel your parents. So it means that this is the lesser case, the weaker case. I can use it for the more severe one. It means that one is also forbidden. If the small one is forbidden, definitely Ali. If the small case is forbidden, so definitely the bigger one is much more forbidden. So in that case, when God says don't even say ah or off to your parents, it means don't assault them. Don't use violence with them, physical violence. Okay? Don't slander them. Don't mistreat them. Don't badmouth them. So, because if the small case is forbidden, then definitely the bigger case is forbidden too. This is how we use it. This is how we use this maxim. Another example, Dr. Ali, can you give me of if the small level is forbidden, so definitely the bigger one is forbidden too. Don't drink a sip of wine. Don't sip wine. Right. It means definitely when there is a bottle, don't drink the bottle. Don't drink the cup. If the sip is for simple sip is forbidden, so definitely the cup is forbidden too. We understand that from this maxim. Or a lady which is haram to you, she is non-mahram. You can't look at certain part of her body. Then if you can't look, then can you touch? Huh? Touch is a higher level. After looking is touching. Huh? So definitely you can't touch. because you can't even look. So when you can't look, then it means you can't touch too, because touching is higher, deeper, bigger. Or don't take a bite of this food. This is pork, this is meat, this is non-halal. As they say today, non-zabiha. So if you are not allowed to take a bite, definitely you are not allowed to take a whole meal. Definitely it's not. Okay? This is from Idhnul Fahwa. Or you are not allowed to steal a penny of this money. This is cash money, you are not allowed. So if I am not allowed to take a penny, then $10 and $100 and $1,000 definitely is more forbidden. Or another example, do not sit with someone who smokes. Someone who smokes, do not sit with him or her. What do you understand from that?
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke, definitely. Don't come and ask me, can I smoke? I told you don't sit with those who smoke, let alone smoking yourself. We understand these from this maxim. And this maxim can be applied to thousands of cases. Thousands of cases in our daily life, especially in the mu'amalat.
So this is for the forbidden, the muharramat.
Yes. And wajibat.
And the wajib.
Yes. What is the example of wajibat? That at least you have to give, let's say, at least you have to give your mother $1 a day. At least, minimum. It means if you can afford $10, then you may pay $10. If you can afford $100, then give her $100. When I say minimum $1, minimum that she can survive on, then it means a bigger amount definitely has more priority, and if you can afford, of course. Or visit your parents at least once a week. At least once a week. It means if you can visit them 3 times a week, it would be much better, of course. So you can use them in wajibat and muharramat, both. What is the evidence for this? Beside the Quran, beside the Hadith, do we have other evidence that comes to your mind that we can support this maxim? It could be supported by other than Quran and Hadith. Exactly. It can be supported by something called al-madarik al-aqliyah, or some people say al-mustaqillat al-aqliyah, which is both are almost the same. Madrak al-aqli is the evidence, the rational evidence. This is rational evidence. This one is also a rational evidence, but why do we call it mustaqillat? Because it stands by its own. Does not need another support. This is a maxim that stands by its own. You don't need to subsidize it with another evidence. Aql can reach that, and nothing is above aql. Of course, the sound aql, the aql of the wise person who knows the law, not someone who's a drunk and you go and consult him. Someone who has healthy brain, healthy reason, healthy aql, and knowledgeable. So we can understand this from plenty of evidence. And aql can reach this conclusion by itself. Mustaqillat al-aqliyah. What else is part of mustaqillat al-aqliyah? Another example that you may use here under this title, mustaqillat al-aqliyah. Independent rationalities. Mustaqillat al-aqliyah, independent rationalities. That the brain, reason can reach it without the help of another evidence. What else? Very obvious. Without hesitation, aql is going to say this is good or this is bad. What is it?
Don't steal.
Don't steal. Justice. Justice. Or injustice. Aql is telling me, aql, I don't need a book to come, a scripture to come and tell me justice is good. I don't need. Even if there is no verse in the Quran, even if there is no single hadith, my sound reason says justice is always good. Always good to be just. This is something commendable, something that people appreciate, some people that people love to see. And always injustice is bad. Always, even if there is no book. Even if there is no book out there. Reason tells me injustice is wicked, is evil. It's not a good act. Nobody loves to be treated in an unjust way. Nobody wants that. So this is mustaqillatul aqliyah. This is what the reason can reach without any support, independently. This is why it's called mustaqil, mustaqillat. You don't need to support it with something else, with another evidence. So this maxim also is part of the madrak. The madrak is a rational one that says if the small one is forbidden, then definitely the bigger one. If stealing one dirham, $1 is forbidden, they're going to take you to jail, let's say. There is a sign says if you steal $1, you go to jail. Then you don't need another sign that says if you steal $100 or $1,000. No need for another sign. Okay? Or the speed limit. If you speed above 65, then this is illegal. Definitely 85. If 65, they can pull you over. Then 85, 95, 100, definitely they can pull you over. This is fahwa. This is the maxim of fahwa. Now, in the Quran, now this is a very important question. Can we make this assumption only if we are sure, or even if we are not sure? Meaning that this precedence that we speak about, the precedence, that if the dollar, for $1 you go to jail, then definitely for $100, definitely you're going to be prosecuted. No doubt about it. Okay? This is, we understand this through something called al-awlawiyya al-qat'iyya. Al-awlawiyya, and I'll explain that. أولوية القطعية. أولوية. Let me write it again. الأولوية. الأولوية القطعية, it means أولوية here means precedence. Precedence. Yes. Precedence. That if the smaller case is mandatory, definitely the bigger case is much more mandatory. This is awlawiyah. This is the meaning of awlawiyah. But I reach that precedence through qat', certainty. Qat' means certainty. There is no doubt. Now, if I don't have that type of certainty, for instance, I'll give you an example. Shara' says, don't drink wine. Then, do not drink wine. He never said anything else. He said, don't drink wine. Then, is other toxicants also I should not drink? Do I understand from do not drink wine that other toxicants are also forbidden, or only wine because if it is wine? What do I understand?
This, say, is your question, is that al-awliyat?
Al-qat'iyya, yes, yeah. So do I need to know the reason or no? He says, don't drink wine. Do I need to make sure, certainty, that this is the reason he's telling me? So because of the reason, I should not drink other talk. Or no, I don't know the reason. Maybe he's saying wine because he doesn't like wine, specifically wine. He's enemy of wine. But other intoxicants are okay. Which one?
Can you say for instance, directly, this is the direct one, the other one could be a ta'wil of it, too. And I can really take it to represent on the wine specifically.
But how do we know? How do we know? Do we need another sentence? My question is this.
Right.
Do we need him to say one more sentence to elaborate? To say because wine, لأنه مسكر, because it is intoxicant.
Right.
مسكر. لا تشرب الخمر, do not drink wine, لأنه مسكر. مسكر.
And whenever it causes sakar,
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
the
Because it is intoxicant.
Right.
Because it is intoxicant.
so yeah, anything that can lead to that
Yeah.
can be assumed to be also
So
haram.
you need awliyat.
So if I know the reason why he's telling me, then definitely, even if he does not mention other types, there are millions of types. But because I know this is mansusul illah. In fiqh, they have a special term for it. When he mentioned, because it is intoxicant, when he says, they say this is mansusul illah. Mansus al-illah. What does it mean? Illah is the reason. Mansus is specified. Because he specified the reason for me. So now I can stretch it and extend it to other areas, other similar areas. Wherever there is intoxicant, I should not drink or eat, even if it is not wine, even if it is hashish, let's say, or marijuana, or whatever, I don't know. Because he told me, because لِأَنَّهُ مُسْكِرٌ. So he gave me the reason. So the reason is obvious for me. I know the reason why. He doesn't have to sit and mention the entire list. He gave me the reason.
So this would be also the reason why, for example, say like alcohol is a bad example, but let's say some drugs, right? They can be both haram and halal, meaning not halal per se, but if they're
Why
used
do you
medically,
use the drug?
yeah, it's
Why
not
do you use it?
intoxicant, but it's for
If you are using it really as a cure,
right.
this is a cure, but it has a side effect. People are not using it because it is intoxicant or delicious. No.
Right.
But because this is, I have an ailment, I need to use it. By the way, it has some side effects. You could be drowsy. This is why they put on the even DayQuil, NightQuil. You know, it could be drowsy, so be careful when you drive. This is side effect. It's different from wine. Wine, people drink it because they like to drink wine. They want to be intoxicated. They want to feel high. Same thing with drugs when they smoke. Another example of that, the Shara gave us the reason so we can stretch the law prohibition into other areas, even though he did not mention these areas. Why riba? Riba, usury. Why riba had been forbidden, strictly forbidden, not just forbidden, strictly. If you read the Quran, some harsh verses regarding riba, usury. Because the Imam explains. He says, because the guy is sitting, he's not working. He's just giving you some money, giving you, and then he gets interest. He's not using his wealth, his money in what? In development. This is a bad type of growth, a wrong growth. We want the money to grow naturally through his work, through his effort. He puts it in an investment plan. Not he's sitting relaxed in his home and then you come to him at the time of need and he says, listen, I give you this $100, return 150. This is an abuse to people and abuse to himself. He's not using his talent. He's not using his energy. He's just asking for interest without exerting any effort, without even leaving his house, without doing anything. He just gives money and then he takes the interest. So, if there are other types of schemes, other plans, other so-called investments like this, that there is no effort. He's getting something for free just because he's giving you the money for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. Can we also use this reason? Can we use it somewhere else? Because it is mansusul illah. The reason has been specified that this is not a trade. What he's doing is not business, is not tijara, is not a trade. This is exploitation, a form of exploitation. Exploiting people's needs. People are in need, he charges them high interest. And he's doing nothing, he's just sitting. He wants to multiply his wealth without putting the wealth in any type of investment. This is why it is forbidden. Quran says because it is exploitation. Exploiting people's needs. Exploiting the system. This is why it's forbidden. So if we find another way, someone is really exploiting people, can we apply the same? We say this is forbidden? Definitely we can. Because we understood why Sharia said this is forbidden. We know why. There is no hidden reasons. The reason is very obvious. Many times they come to the Prophet, the Imam, why I can't charge interest? I can sit at home, I have $1 million. I don't want to open a shop. I don't want to open a corporation. People around me in my village, in my town, they need loan to build a house, to buy a car, to travel, treatment, education. I give them money and then I just collect the interest. Imam says this is not a trade. Yes, you are. You are helping them. But this type of help, if you look at it closely, it's an exploitation. You are not putting your money in business, in real business.
So what about like example, it may not be like this, but let's say somebody has a fruit market and then Ramadan comes along and people increase the prices because they know right now.
This is also a type of extortion, a type of exploitation of this is haram. This is called in Islam ihtikar. In Arabic, it is ihtikar. I think in Farsi is also ihtikar, huh? Ihtikar, yeah. Because he knows that this is the season, people need the food now in this season, so he takes the price up. The price goes up, there will be inflation, people can't afford. People can't afford. Now, let me ask you this question. If a bank or financial institution says, listen, put your money with us, we will invest the money, we will give you interest. Give me $100,000, let's say for 1 year, 2 years. I will give you, let's say, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. But this bank and this financial institution, they are investing this money, investing it in business. How about that? Is this also exploitation?
No, you're not exploiting that.
Are you going to lose money, possibly? 'Cause
If the bank shuts down,
no, besides that, if
you may
investment-
lose the whole money. There is, because this is mudaraba. What you are talking about is mudaraba. You have to sign papers. Listen, there is a project. We are building a dam here. We are building, whatever here. huge project, we need money. So if we succeed, you get a profit. If not, you lose your money. This is mudaraba. But sometimes you don't know. They are saying, I don't know where they are using the money. They say investment.
Well, let's say they're not going to go.
But they say guaranteed. Guaranteed. Profit is guaranteed. Scholars are divided over this. Some of them, they say yes, this is also investment. Maybe you don't know about the details. You don't have to know about the details. You don't have to know. If your friend says, give me money, we are partners. Leave the business with me. You don't know about his business. You don't know about the business, but you trust him. This is business. But other scholars, they say no. This is like gambling. And because of the riba, see, the riba has the same reason with gambling. Why gambling is haram? Because you are working with a machine. You are not using your money intelligently. Any person, even the stupid person, it's a matter of luck. He takes money, $100,000 to Las Vegas. He may make it $500,000. He may come back empty-handed. He's not using his money intelligently in a business, sitting in front of a machine playing. This is not business. This is not tijara. Besides, it's addictive. Some people, they go and sell their homes, they borrow money from others, they use their women's jewelries, they sell his, furniture, his home, his car. Addictive. And it creates greed. Because he makes money in the beginning, he thinks that he's going to make money. This is why, because it's not a business. This is not a reasonable business. Because it involves a lot of risk. A lot of risk. So we know this type of gambling, this type of business is dangerous. We don't do. Because we know the reason. Of course, qimar in Islam has been mentioned because they used to play in the past. So Sharia game. But other types, similar types, where really there is a risk and person just putting his money, playing. When people look at this, they say this is a game. Maybe stock market is the same. I don't know. I don't understand the details. I really don't understand the details. Some people say it is investment. You spend time, you wake up at 5 a.m., you have to watch, you have to buy, you have to sell. Some people say no. These are games. It's a matter of luck. Matter of luck. Sometimes the stocks goes up, it goes. Some people say no, because you are buying stocks from this company. You are watching the market, you are buying stocks, and the company is investing, selling, and so the stocks, the shares goes up. Again, we have difference of opinions here. Yes, you are saying something?
Well, I had two questions. Is it necessarily for money? What about if it's time? Let's say people that invest their time doing nothing. I mean, they're wasting their time. For instance, like we mentioned the video gaming, for instance, you got people sitting on games 12 hours a day, for instance.
And they make money out of it? Oh, what is the ruling on this?
Yeah, can you use time as like...
Absolutely. Time is money.
Time is money.
Time is money. You are not allowed to waste your time.
Right.
Because when you are wasting time, you are wasting money. In this time, in this hour, you can make this amount of money.
And my other question was, as far as, let's say, the wine being intoxicant, and we all know it's haram, but just for reasoning for others, they may say, okay, what about if you don't drink it until you're intoxicated? Let's say you're having a drink without intoxication.
Very good question. We have another maxim that elaborates, gives the answer. He says, كل ما كان قليله كثيره مسكر فقليله حرام. Every drink that a big amount of it, which the big amount of it is intoxicant, then even the small amount becomes illegal.
Because some people can see water.
This is a hadith.
Yeah.
كل ما كان, every liquid, everything, ما كان كثيره مسكر, the big amount of it is intoxicant, فقليله, even the small amount, becomes illegal. Another question and we conclude. If someone gives you the keys to his house, to his apartment, and he says, this is, enjoy this. I'm going for 2 months, 3 months. You may use my apartment. Does that entail, does that permission from that, the owner of the apartment, does it entail that you pray? Do you have permission from him to pray too? Because we know that specifically prayers, we need permission from the owner. If it is not public, if it is not a public space, private entity, private corporation, private residence, we need to get permission. So if someone says this, the keys to my house, here you are, does that imply that he gave me permission to pray, or I need an extra?
So he gave you the keys, what did that say?
To use the house.
Oh, to use the house.
Not just to look after it, to use it. He says, if you want to sleep, to spend the night, to come, to use the bathroom, the shower.
So you don't need more than that. Then.
We don't need?
Well, because he's giving you permission. Yeah. No, it's a small thing.
By giving the key, he's
Yeah.
just saying, do what, not do what you want. You cannot burn.
Yeah.
عمل خير يعني. So if it's a small, at least
Yeah.
a bigger one.
It depends. Scholars, some of them say this is a permission, blanket permission. But others, they say no, probably he doesn't believe in the prayers. Or when it comes to prayers, he's not okay that you pray in his house. Do you know? This itmi'nan doesn't happen? That yes, I have itmi'nan. That when he gave me, he would not mind. He would not mind praying. But if I know this guy from his history, from his past, that he's anti-prayers, let's say. Or he has specific akhlaq. Some people, they are programmed in a specific way. You must ask him about this.
Or he has some beliefs. Or he has some beliefs that his house is.
Whatever, yeah.
But that can go for everything then. How many showers can I take per day? How many,
Whether you can bring a guest or not.
Yeah. It becomes too hectic.
Yeah.
So,
So they are divided. On this question, they don't have one answer. They say maybe this does not apply. You need a special permission for prayers. And some people say no. When he gives you the keys, enjoy.
But he knows you, so he knows you are Muslim, so he knows that you will be
Yeah,
praying.
if he doesn't know about that.
Oh.
You give your keys to someone, you don't know him, he doesn't know you, then you find he's doing sacrament according to the Catholic. He's doing this bukhur and he's blessing your house. Yeah. It's like when we moved into the neighborhood, our neighbor was welcoming us with a beautiful gesture. He brought a bottle of champagne. You should have seen my father when he looked. He said, what is this? He said, keep it outside the ice. We said, let him go, we will throw. He said, no, don't let the bottle. So as soon as he left, we took the bottle. Maybe he noticed. I think he noticed there was some commotion. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.